You guys asked for more content. Here we go. We're gonna try to do some interviews with the athletes. First in line today, Niidas, or better known as SUPACLARKSON. He's 23-year-old calisthenics athlete that comes from Estonia, aka the best Estonian athlete that I know.
She wanna have me and the kids, we selling hard, doing fraud.
In the back, she smoking all these blunts, sick, got me staring at the sun. There's no nigga like me, tell him built different, I don't really want one. Felt like people holding me back, think it would be best to cut them off. See, I'm trying to solve my problems, while I don't know when I'm stuck. Never thought it would've come down to this. Never thought I would've taken on these risks. Never thought that this bitch had a kid. I never thought that my homie a bitch. I had these dreams that made plans to get rich. Pouring some lean, she put snooze on my lip. Don't say too much, man, she know what it is.
Carl is active on YouTube and Instagram. So at the end of the video, I'm gonna drop link down below what you can check out his channel. Really funny guy, makes awesome content. Make sure to check him out. Some people already know you that are checking our channel, but for some who don't know, introduce yourself.
I'm a comedian.
Comedian.
I'm an athlete.
Athlete.
And I'm a father.
And he's a father.
And I'm a husband.
And husband? Okay, good. Slow your brakes, my guy. So, you're 23 years old, right? You're a father.
Yes.
We're gonna touch that topic a little bit later, but now I want to ask you about your beginning of your whole story. Mm-hmm. At what time did you start? What age you were? And tell us about where you're from in a little bit more detail.
Okay. So I started back in 2013. 11 years now. I started out because my cousins saw Bar Brothers. They did it for a while. I latched on to them. Then from Bar Brothers, I transitioned to street workout. And then it all started from there. I was a skinny guy. I didn't have any fucking muscle. I had no fucking bitches. I had no fucking money. Now I'm doing good.
Top G right here.
Don't affiliate me, please.
Okay. So you're coming out of Estonia. We both are like a part of like Baltic states, like Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia. Tell us about a little bit about like the history, like of the Baltic states. How do you first came across calisthenics like locally?
Okay. So a few years back, Edgars Lazdins was popping off. Then I was like, holy shit, that guy is in Latvia. And there was a competition held in Estonia where he was a judge. I wanted to go there, but I couldn't because I was working. My heart shattered because I idolized him. Then after that, I told my friend Robert, let's fucking go to their training place, which was Free Zone back at the time. This was 2017. We went there. I met Pauls for the first time, and then history started from there.
Pretty dope. Do you have like some local idols that you know, like that you would want to like share with us? Like for example, like me personally, I already knew some like Estonian athletes before even Daniels came into the picture when I started to train. There was Dmitry Nikolaev, who represented the World Championship, your country. Also Makar Zubkov, who's also Estonian, who represented. Like for me, those were the first guys who I actually knew from Estonia in general.
Yeah.
Did they inspire you to start maybe before even you know about Daniel?
I think 2015 World Cup or World Championships. The noticeable guys who caught my eye were Robert Polonsky from Lithuania. Daniels didn't because he was too young at that time. Eric Ortiz, these guys. And then later down the line, I knew that holy shit, Daniels was that guy, and Robert Polonsky is way down in Lithuania, so actually quite near.
Really rich history.
Yes, but in Estonia-wise, Makar Zubkov definitely was one of the main guys because he holded a fucking two-finger handstand years back.
Back then, like two-finger handstand was like what's right now two-finger planche, pretty much. Like back in the day, like planches were not so common. Only the strongest guys could do planches. Like, but there was a lot of like athletes who knew like handstand variations, okay, like finger handstands and stuff like that.
Yep.
Okay, so what was your biggest beginner mistakes that you would like to advise others to avoid?
I didn't do fucking base.
No basics. You
No basics. I wasted 4-5 years completely because I didn't do any fucking basics. As a beginner, I jumped straight into skills, into handstands, into planches. I saw no fucking progress because I didn't do any basics. I was unable to perform a muscle up, but I was already training for the front lever. That should be avoided at all fucking costs. You dumbass bitches, you fucking beginners.
Okay, the next thing. Tell me a little bit about your competitive experience. How did it start? When did you decide to start competing? What are the key takes from that time of your life? Like, because right now, like, you're taking a break from competitive scene. But which year did you start, and what was the decision? Like, why did you start competing in general?
2015, I think, was my first competition, or even 14.
That was a local competition?
A local competition in Estonia, Mardu. And I was still in the younglings category, basically, up to 17, I think.
Juniors.
Juniors, yes.
Juniors.
And I failed drastically because I didn't have a fucking flow, I didn't have nothing, I did everything random.
So it was freestyle, straight away?
Straight away freestyle.
No base, no endurance,
nothing,
no strength
nothing,
exercise,
nothing.
like straight to freestyle?
Yes,
Okay.
but the freestyle wasn't freestyle.
Yeah. How was your preparation for the first competition? You just pulled up with whatever you had, or you actually tried to prepare in some sort of way?
I didn't know even how to prepare.
So there was not a lot of info
Nothing.
in the internet how to prepare for the competition.
No, absolutely not.
To be fair, like
The
still to this
only,
day.
the only knowledge what I had was that I saw all the competitions and what guys did there.
So pretty much just seeing what others doing, and that's like that
Try
was
to
a
imitate.
blueprint by imitating.
Exactly.
Yeah. Also back then, like I could imagine like there was not a lot of info about how to prepare or how to train specific skills or
Nothing.
anything. Like you had to come up on the spot pretty much with what you're gonna show in the competition. Interesting. And what is the biggest take out of the experience of first time trying to compete, and maybe it didn't go your way, but what did you learn from that experience?
That you need to think through your runs. And as well, you need to train for endurance. No, freestyle endurance.
Yeah.
Because I was completely gassed up even on the first round. And I had like 4, I think.
Over the time, what would be like your most important competitions that you took part in?
Most important.
Yeah.
No, I have competed basically in every national championship since then, since 2015 to this year actually. This year I didn't compete because I'm dead. And the biggest ones I think are the ones I had in Jurmala.
Jurmala Cup stage.
Jurmala Cup stages, yes.
Did you compete in World Championship?
No, we clowned around.
You did a performance.
Yes.
But you just like you pulled up to the event and you asked, or some of the guys were qualified for the event.
Nash, World Championships you mean?
Yeah. Did you qualify beforehand, like, or you just like asked?
One year I qualified as well, but I didn't go.
Okay.
Don't remember why. I think, yeah, I can't remember why.
No.
I had something going
Yeah. So the World Cup stage. Which place did you take?
last year. It was last year. I was a candidate for the World Championship, but I didn't go because baby news.
Baby news. Yes. Of course. So I have a question. In Jurmala Cup stage, as you mentioned, which place did you take?
Fourth.
Fourth place. And how do you like? For example, what could you say from that format of competition? What was the biggest take out of that specific competition?
Endurance.
Endurance.
Because the rounds are so many fucking rounds, and you need that endurance to give your absolute best by the end of the rounds.
Large amount of volume. Like to be fair, like wait, you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You need to do at least 6 sets. At least 6 sets in the competition. It depends on each year. Sometimes they change the rules to like back in the day we used to have in the finals 5 rounds, 5 sets of like what you need to perform. Then they took down a notch like for 4, and I think in the last few years they did 3 rounds. But sadly,
Yeah.
Sadly, they discontinued the World Cup stages and World Cup finals. Now we just have World Championship that also this year sadly got cancelled.
Yep.
But next year in March we finally have the World Championship going on in Prague, Czech Republic, Prague, right? I think
Yeah,
Czech Republic.
I think yes.
Yeah. So hopefully we get this event going on, and yeah. Thank you for sharing that part of like your experience of being an athlete. Next question from me is gonna be, do you do program of your training? Do you follow along a program?
Yes, I have a program, but it's in my head.
So-
I don't write it down, but usually I start with the hardest skill. After I've done that, then I will do some basics for the skill. And then after that, I will do my basic work, pull-ups, dips, full push basically.
So, following question to the program is, do you do deload weeks?
No,
You don't take deload week.
I don't do them because they just happen.
So you're waiting to the point where your body is underperforming and that's your deload week and you just like survive through it, or how do you do it?
Sometimes I just can't manage to go to the gym. It usually happens every like month and a half, something like that, a week, like
Yeah.
do bare minimum or do nothing.
The next thing what I want to ask you is, do you follow a specific diet, like, or you just eat whatever you want and just like train like a maniac?
If I have the money, I would eat carnivore. But I don't have
Only
the
meat.
fucking money. Yes, only meat. Because I have found that lowering my carbohydrates extremely fucking well built. Extremely. Might not work for everyone, but I have found it extremely useful for eating meat and vegetables. But I'm not perfect. Some McDonald's here, some chips here, some Coca-Colas.
Of course.
But my end goal is to be in a carnivore diet.
That strength is it a myth or a fact?
I think it's a fact.
Where could you attribute that to? Like, where does that strength actually come from?
Having a kid,
Having a kid. But is it like more based off of like you being more disciplined and that leads to being more strong, or is it?
yeah, that as well. But one thing that I have noticed, that you're more careful.
More careful.
Yes, you don't do stupid mistakes. You train fast, efficiently. You go to the gym, you train, you come out, you don't fucking hang around. Maybe that's the thing that is the fucking bad strength, because you just don't have the time to slack around. You know?
Yeah.
You do,
Strict to business.
yes, strict to business.
Like, how do your workouts these days look like? Like how long they are and how often do you train?
No, since I'm filming as well on my YouTube, usually I go to the gym, I do my sets, I film them. If I have a filming day, will take me about 2 to 3 hours. If I don't film, up to 2 hours.
That's pretty efficient, I would say. Because like most of the athletes that I know, they train even 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah,
And
I used to do the same mistake, but eventually comes a time in a man's life where time is limited.
yeah, of course. But actually, I think it's beneficial because you can
Yes.
manage to train maybe more often actually, because you're like lowering the amount of time that you spend in the gym. You can manage to do more actually
More.
training sessions over the week than like doing like longer sessions and less
Yeah.
often.
Exactly.
This is gonna be a little bit more personal question. I'm gonna explain it to you guys afterwards. There's no context right now, but how many hours do you think we spend on a fucking prototype of RHSM logo?
How many hours?
How many hours did we do it?
I think a week's worth.
Weeks worth. Holy shit. So for those guys who don't actually know, in the beginning phase of me trying to figure out this whole deal of RHSM as a company and the branding and the meaning and everything, in the beginning I had no experience whatsoever with Photoshop or Illustrator or like anything, and Carl was like a really good friend in this matter, and he was like, I asked him, do you know anything about this? He said, yeah bro, no worries. Then we tried to figure out the way how to manage to do the first logo, the circular logo, right? We spent shitload of time on it. Actually, at the end of the day, we picked a little bit different design, like similar to circle, but changed it. But actually, Carl is one of the first person who joined into the movement and actually helped me to understand how to build this whole thing, like the idea, to put it on the paper. So yeah, thank you for that. Like it takes way back 2021, like during the COVID. During the COVID, those were tough times, but like it was actually
Good time to build.
Yeah, good time to build, like to figure out what you want to do with the life. So like, and during the COVID time, I actually came up with the idea, and here we are, like doing interview a couple of years later. Is there anything that you want to say for like beginners, like what they should like actually look forward to, what they should focus on, anything like for a younger self, for example, what you could say to your younger self, what you should focus on?
Do your basics. Chase bitches. Get more testosterone. Eat good, otherwise you won't get muscles, which will give you strength. And don't fucking slack.
That's good. You may or may not know the next person that I'm gonna interview, but I want you to give them the first question. So you can come up with your own question. We're gonna next ask it to the next person in line who we're gonna interview. So if you know, it's good. If you don't know, come up with something interesting that you maybe want to find out about the next person. I think I mentioned it, so like maybe you're actually know.
Let me think for a second. This is a good like opportunity.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity to maybe stir up some drama, or maybe like to actually, if you're curious about something that you want to find out about any other athlete, maybe like who knows, maybe it's a high-level athlete, maybe it's like a just internet personality of our sport, who knows, maybe other brand owner or who knows. So like the question can be really broad in the idea, or maybe short and strict to business.
I think actually a good question would be, how do you deal with loss in a competition?
Ooh, that's a good question actually. That's actually a good question. I think like the next person in line, I think like
He has experience.
He has experienced. So yeah, that's gonna be it for today's interview. Thank you, Carl. SUPACLARKSON. Thank you for doing the first interview ever. Bear with us, guys, because we have no experience in this. This is a new format for us, but like we're looking forward to doing more. So you guys know, there's 2 more interviews lined up over the next few weeks. So make sure to subscribe, leave a like, share this interview on your Instagram, on your Facebook. Tell it to your mom, tell it to your grandpa, tell it to your dog, to tell it to the other animals, so we can conquer the world together with Carl.
RHSM.
Yes. Make sure to check out Carl's social media. Instagram. Do you do Facebook?
Yeah.
Fuck Facebook. YouTube and Instagram. TikTok as well? Not really? Then YouTube and Instagram. We will leave all the links down below. Check him out. He's making amazing content. And until the next time, see you guys.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.